I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
You got it. Sabin. Schreiber.
Here.
Bergbauer.
Here.
Galogly.
Here.
Deskin.
Here.
Lobes.
Here.
Bartleson.
Here.
And Peretta.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, anyone want to share a liaison's report?
Well, we got
Oh, sorry, Chaplain, apologies.
Dear God, we just take this time to say thank you for this beautiful day, that we can experience it. And I thank you for our beautiful city and how you blessed us with safety, how we live in safety and peace here. And I thank you for how you've kept our officers and our fire personnel safe. And again, I just ask that you keep a hedge of protection around them as they go on calls and they're helping the citizens of Lockport. Give them wisdom, give them guidance and direction. And I thank you for all the businesses that we have in town here. And I just ask for special favor from you to rest on them, that you would just bless them financially more, as even with this crazy pandemic hopefully is winding down. Just give them ideas on how to build their business up. Bless them financially. And I'm grateful for all of our council members here and the people who make this city work. And I ask that you would just bless this meeting this evening. I ask that you would give each one of them guidance and direction and give them ideas on how to improve our city even more. And bless each one of their personal lives and their families. And I thank you for everything. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Liaison's report, do we have any liaison reports for tonight?
Yes, that would be me. Did you want to go? No,
Go
Okay.
right ahead.
Okay, we have formed a sustainability committee, and we've actually gotten a lot done. In February, the kickoff was the coal tar ban, as everybody knows. In March, we started a milkweed program to have seeds at City Hall so people could pick them up. And milkweed attracts butterflies, especially the monarchs, which is important to us. And then April, we're having recycling. We're thinking about, what's the name of the program again, Ben?
At Your Door. So we will be presenting on April 21st, Waste Management's At Your Door program, which is more than just recycling. It's household paints, oils, hazardous substances that we could add to our waste management contract if you choose at any time. And we're also going to be presenting just good recycling program products. They have good flyers and marketing materials about what to put in recycling bin, what not to put in your recycling bin, moreover. The recycling business has gotten really expensive over the years, and so it's kind of gotten out of hand. But the At Your Door is an additional service that we could add to a contract, and we'll present that on the 21st.
And the city did set up a survey. It's pretty easy. It's 4 questions regarding whether you would like this service or not, because we wonder if it's something that the residents would like, or maybe it's just something that we just table. Then moving on, April 21st, Tree City USA, we're having a dedication. Yay. And then
Acclamation, yep.
April 22nd, which is Earth Day, the ISM is doing something amazing. They have gotten a grant from IDR to plant 266 pollinating plants, and we're going to ask for volunteers to help them out. Anybody can email Ben, and he'll get them set up with Nancy, and it'll be, I believe, it'll start where the railroad tracks are and the fence in their lot, and they're going to start the planting there. May
15th.
Yeah, then May 15th is Main Street cleanup. Also could use volunteers for that. Again, email Ben Benson. May, we're doing rain barrels and compost barrels. We haven't decided if we're going to go ahead and purchase them or, send it to a website where the consumer can purchase them. And then in June, kind of formulating the plans for summer tours. such as S&S Sports, Waste Management, and that's, I think, it.
And the S&S Sports is because of their solar, their
The
solar
Prologis
panel farm.
buildings. And if we can get the Coast Guard to allow tours at the locks again, we could do that, and there's a couple other ideas we have, so.
You've done phenomenal on this.
Yes, we have.
Mark and, yep. And then I know the mayor wanted me to, I'm sorry, to mention Strong Towns. Don't forget to go online and vote for Strong Towns. We're in the heat, so.
Yeah, I just have, just a reminder, so this year, we're going to be combining the spring and summer beautification contests. You can submit your photos, and starting now until July 30th for both seasons, spring and summer. Winners will be invited to the August 18th City Council meeting for recognition. And keep an eye out on Facebook and the website for more details. If you have any questions about submission or the contest, please contact Brittany at administration. That's it for that. I had just one other question. Is there any way that as a city that we could have a shredding day? People have so much stuff that they can shred, and there's really no place nearby, or it costs an arm and a leg. But if we can provide it for the residents, I'd like to suggest trying to do that, and I'll be glad to
Do you
help
need a
out.
shredder or a,
You know, a company that
or a
comes
very,
out-
do you need a shredder or a very good attorney?
Well, it's usually like a truck that comes.
Yeah, there are
Place somewhere.
services. Sometimes the banks do them, canals and trails. I mean, the city does have shredding events that we do for our own documents, but it's, I don't want to say complicated, but we have to give notice to the state, and I don't know if
Right.
we'd want to mix those documents, but
No, I get it, but
council would like us to look into an additional community shredding day. We can find out the cost and logistics of
I
that.
just
or
think it'd be a good service
search
for our
it, see
residents.
what banks are doing it or something. So let me research it for you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good sustainability thing.
It's a good idea.
Yes, that's it.
And I've got two things to report. The next Triad meeting for our seniors is April 20th at the Lockport Township Building. They will have breakfast, and they will be discussing veterans' benefits, which is pretty important for a lot of them. There's a lot of benefits they may not know about. The best way to contact this and get registered is to call 815-838-2132, extension 2219, and then they can get registered for that. And that's through the police department and the Lockport Township Building. This event will be 9 o'clock on April 20th at the Lockport Township Building. And then also, the bike program is in full swing right now. They have collected already 70 bikes, which is a lot of bikes. The repair day will be May 15th, and they might have to add another day, because 70 bikes is a lot. But they are still collecting more bikes. And so if you have any more bikes to turn in, that goes toward the Transformation Scholarship with the Lockport Resource Center. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to add one thing for the mayor's report. I wanted to welcome our alderwoman-elect from the new Ward 1 here. I wanted to say congratulations to Karen, and we will be seeing you here on the podium in a month.
May 5th.
May 5th, yes, so. Hello, welcome. And please know you can use any of us as a reference. I know that, I'm your current alderman, but after the wards change, if you want to talk to me about anything that's been going on in our area of town, just email me or call me or walk on over. Or Darren. Welcome. Knows everything. Or Darren, yeah, he knows. Don't do the Darren tour. Okay. Welcome, and congratulations to you. MA1, reappointments to the City of Lockport Plan and Zoning Commission and the Heritage and Architecture Commission.
Want me to?
Are you doing it, or am I doing it?
Doesn't matter. You can.
Okay, so there are a couple of commissioners on the City of Lockport Planning Zoning Commission that have expired terms. We put it on the website in our ordinance that expires April 2021. Going forward, we put in the last day of April instead of like, it could be April 1, it could be April 30th. So going forward, and with this resolution, we did put it in for April 30th, 2025. The reappointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission will be Scott Likens, Bill Maloney, and Dave Oxley, and Janine Wheeler, who have expired terms this month. They will be serving 4 terms. And the other commission that needs appointment is Bill Maloney to the Lockport Heritage and Architecture Commission. He is the Planning and Zoning Liaison to that commission, and his term will be for 3 years to April 30th, 2024. Going forward, we want to make sure that these commissioners on commissions have staggered terms, so we don't have the whole entire commission expired and have to be reappointed. There are 2 other vacancies for the Planning and Zoning Commission, and that will come later on for probably until like first meeting in May. So if there's any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them, but this is pretty perfunctory reappointment of current commissioners on the Planning and Zoning Commission with expired terms, and then reappointment of Bill Maloney as a PZC liaison to the Heritage and Architect Commission. We request this item to be placed on consent item for the next City Council meeting.
Thank you. Questions, comments from the board? Everyone okay with consent? Awesome. Thank you. Next one is CA1, Bicycle Rental Station License Agreement with Canal Corridor Association.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council. The next item is technically, it'll be requesting approval for Resolution 21051, which is really kind of an amendment update of sorts for a new license agreement with the Canal Corridor Association. Back in 2019, the Canal Corridor Association partnered to bring a bicycle rental station at the public landing in Lockport, and along with 5 other communities. And they partnered with a company called Zaxter, which unfortunately went out of business. It was provided under a grant from the DCEO, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. There was a matching requirement, and the Lockport Women's Club graciously paid for that matching part of the grant. And we did have rentals available last year, or 2 years ago, that for $2.50 an hour, you could provide a credit card or a debit card and be able to rent a bike along the canal. It's a nice amenity. But unfortunately, when Zaxter went out and COVID happened, it just disappeared. Thankfully, the Canal Corridor Association has decided to kind of underwrite the program and bring it back. Thank you. There's a picture of the bikes, and they're actually already back. We asked them for an updated insurance cert since we own the property, and we got that before they brought the bikes back. We wanted to bring back the agreement so that we can keep them there long term with an agreement with the city to allow for these stations up and down the canal. The pay did go up with the new software company that rents them, so it'll be $5 an hour instead of $2.50 an hour. But there's an app, and you can download it, and it basically unlocks the bike for you and allows you to pedal it around. You can learn more about that at the inmcanal.org/bike. It's on their website, and I think we have probably a story on our website about it as well. You can find more information. If this agreement is approved, it would replace the previous agreement, and it would extend it for another 2 years. So we're seeking approval of the Resolution 21051 to approve the license agreement for the bike rental station.
Questions or comments from the council? Is everyone okay with consent on that? Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Cool.
PZ1, final development plans for a redevelopment project for a new mixed-use building located at 1016 South State Street.
Item PZ1 is related to Resolution 21-052. This is Joe Gallis's building at 1016 South State Street. This is for seeking approval for final development plans for the redevelopment of a 3-story mixed-use building. Totals 2,100 square feet of commercial and 4,800 square feet of residential space on the 2nd and 3rd floors. The property is on the east side of the street, directly south of Jackie's and directly north of the old stagecoach, the historic stagecoach. It is a 3-story building. It is situated on the site. This is related to the property sale that was discussed earlier this year. The item was considered at the Planning and Zoning Commission on March 9th. No objectors were present. The applicant and his architect were present to answer any questions or respond to any comments. By a vote of 6-0, the PZC recommended approval of the following: a motion to approve final development plans for a redevelopment project for a new mixed-use building located at 1016 South State Street, subject to the following conditions. All signage for future commercial tenants shall be reviewed and approved by the H&A Commission, and additional exterior lighting fixtures, if proposed, will also need to be reviewed by the H&A Commission. So with that, I'll take any questions.
And just for clarification, this is a property that the city of Lockport currently owns. So upon the full payment, the rest of the remaining payment for that property, this will be deeded to the developer with the, of course, the reservations of the right-of-way, the sidewalk that is in that
Correct.
plan. So that will be what would be done, but currently the city of Lockport owns it.
I just want to say that I think this is lovely. I am so glad that we're having this addition to downtown, and thank you, Joe.
I would agree. This is a really nice design. I think, Bob, you also did a really good job on this, so congrats to you both. It's a really great addition for the street wall in that part of town.
Absolutely.
I think it was a great participation.
Bob, could you, for the record, if you could go up and state your name for the record and then take off your mic, because we need, yeah, on the record, yeah.
My name is Bob Morris. I'm with Orbis Architects. Do you want my address too? 432 East 14th Street. Lance, you know this was quite a process. We went through a number of different steps, a number of different revisions, and I'd just like to give kudos to Lance. He deserves a fair amount of credit for what showed up here. He has some really great input, so thank you.
Well, then thank you, Lance, as well. Yes. Do we have any plan of what we want to put on the first floor, or is that still up in the air? Okay. All right, cool. All right, any additional questions or comments from the council? Are we okay with consent on this? All right, thank you. Thanks again. All right, PW1, Water Well Solutions to repair well number 11.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Council. This evening, a couple items on the agenda. First one for the Public Works Department is PW-1. This is for Water Well Solutions to repair well number 11. On an annual basis, we select one well to evaluate and to rehab. Essentially what happens is that the aquifer underground, it fills up with material, some sand, some stone. It blocks some of the cavities underground where we're sucking the water out. And so every couple of years what has to happen is that has to be cleared out. We have to basically clear out these voids to allow the water to be sucked up easier. And with that, we also this year have some additional improvements that you can see on the third sheet in the packet. There's some casing pipe, there's some acid mixture, so that acid mixture is what actually goes down and clears out the voids underground. And then additionally, some sandblasting, recoating of things. So after we pull everything out, we want to put it back in there better than it was. So we want to make sure that it's coated, make sure that it's protected for the long term. So this evening, what we're looking for, like I said, is well number 11. The past 4 years, we've done 6, 12, 13, and 14. The amount that we're asking for this evening is $118,613, and this is resolution number 21-049. I would take any questions that council has at this time.
No, I think it's a good idea. You know, we kind of learned a few years ago, for many years there wasn't any rehab on any of the wells, and then we had a situation, I don't remember when it was, 4 or 5 years ago, when we were rehabbing a well out on the east end, and another well collapsed, and that was kind of terrifying for us, because there wasn't any way to go ahead and put out a fire out there for about 6 months. Public didn't know that, but that was pretty scary. And then, you know, because we didn't rehab the well out there by Oak Prairie School out there, we had to go ahead and spend, what, $3-4 million for another well instead of $118,000 or whatever it would have been at the time. So I'm happy that was one of the things we figured out a few years ago and continue to do it.
Absolutely. Any other questions from the council? Are we okay with consent? All right, great, thank you. PW2, 2011 Downtown Streetscape, IDOT Local Public Agency Agreement, BLR 05310 approval. Is that a real sentence?
Close.
That.
We'll run on. PW-2, this is for our Streetscape 2021 project. As council is aware, this year our plan is to do State Street from 10th to 11th, and also 9th Street from State Street to Hamilton Street. This will mirror the work that was done in 2019 and 2020. It will be a continuation of that effort, so we'll have the same planters, the same garbage cans, the same benches, the same look. So again, this is a continuation of those projects. We were successful in securing a grant for a portion of the work. So one of the questions that I did receive was, what is participating, what is non-participating? So what happens is the STP portion of this is for items that are safety items, that are for roadway, that are for curb, that are for, the term I used was needed, and I don't mean to say it like the work other work we're doing is not needed, but it's deemed safety items that are covered. So what we're able to do is the approximate $511,000 of work that is something that IDOT would consider to be required. So this is for roadway, for curb, for storm sewer, for sidewalk, for ADA crossings. All of that work is taken and put into one pot. The remaining items that we're working on, so all of the beautification, the landscaping, the brick pavers, all of those types of things are put into another pot. So what is available for that 80-20 grant is that first pot. So that's why you see the discrepancy here. So of that 80-20 grant, $511,000, we are receiving $408,800 from the STP local funds, and we would have to put in 20%, which is $102,200. But then additionally, we're going to do another $1.8 million worth of work. So in total, the city will be approximately doing $1.9 million. Of the $2.3 million will be coming out of city funds. Now, what I want to make sure everybody understands is this is strictly an estimate. So there is no guarantee to this. We are going out to bid in April, so this is an April letting, so later this month, we will be going to bid. But we have to put this in writing, and we have to guarantee to IDOT that we will cover the costs. So basically what we're doing is we're saying that we are entering into an agreement with IDOT that if and when we go to bid, and if and when we receive a bid that we like and we want to accept it, that we will have that money. If the bids came out twice this amount, then obviously that's up to council to determine whether or not we want to move forward. So at this time, this is an agreement that would be between the city of Lockport and the state, IDOT, and we would be looking for concurrence this evening. It is Resolution 21-053, authorizing Surface Transportation Program, that's STP, local funding for the Illinois 171 State Route and Illinois 7 9th Street resurfacing and streetscape project in the total of $1,967,223.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that the reason why we're so high on the cost is that most of this work is the beautifications that they won't cover in the roadway, right? But I wanted to point out, it does also include a crosswalk at 11th, which will bookend kind of the 8th Street crosswalk, and they will both have the flashing push-button, crosswalks for safety, so that's a really nice improvement for our downtown with all the activity that's going on. The current schedule with the April letting is that we've asked them to break this up into 2 chunks, where they would do 9th Street on July 5th through August 31st, and then they would move over to State Street from September 1st through October, and then both locations would get their resurfacing done in November, early November, before Thanksgiving, and we'd be done. So it did impact how we were planning the car show event and stuff like that, but we tried to take all that into consideration in planning it this way. It doesn't always go to plan, but we're going to try. And, but it's exciting to be able to finish kind of the vision that we started, and so it'll be great to get that done. I wish we had pulled the Band-Aid off and did it last time and be done already, but, you know, we're trying to be fiscally service. Yeah.
So how did this figure come about then? How do you determine that?
Estimates between our engineers, our consultants, and IDOT, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're fairly confident that this is I shouldn't say fairly confident, we're confident that this is a good number. Typically, I would say if we were going out to bid 2 months ago, I would say this is a little high, but going out in April, which we don't really have a control of, this is an IDOT project, so IDOT dictates that to us. But I feel comfortable with these numbers, especially with doing the almost identical job very recently. We have very good estimate.
Brent, correct me if I'm wrong, though, but if it's an IDOT job, IDOT won't award a job if it's way over the estimate either. I mean, I think you have to say within a certain amount of what they think is the budgeted number, or they won't even award it. So it's not like we could say it's a $2 million job and all of a sudden the bid comes in for $3 million.
Yeah.
IDOT won't even award it either, saying, whoa, that's not even close to what we thought we were going to spend either. So it's not like we can get totally killed. I mean, the number is going to be fairly accurate, or IDOT won't award it either.
Contractors know that too, not to overgouge, they won't get the work, all right? Good point,
Kind of keeps everybody kind of at bay
Yeah.
and kind of honest. Okay.
right.
Well, that's good.
Brent, no, is 10th and 11th in the future, 2022, 2023, or?
10th and 11th, so you're talking
Street.
the east-west, like up to Hamilton?
Yeah. Yes.
Just 10th Street is looking at being designed, not 11th, so 10th Street would be a festival street. We've actually applied for grants for that, to help fund that. We were actually talking to some of the DC lobbyists and some of the grants that
Some
are
of the
coming out
track.
for the transportation bill.
Correct.
Yeah,
Tracks all the
yeah,
way
both
up.
sides, actually. So from State Street down, we call it the hill, the little hill there. There's a small, that's probably $500,000 worth of work. And then there's a design that still has to be done for the rest of 10th Street up to Hamilton. But we've always envisioned that in the original plan as a festival street. We looked at 10th and 8th as festival streets, but really I think all the momentum and everything we've been doing with car shows, it makes more sense to focus on 10th for now. And so there aren't any designs or plans for 11th and 8th. I mean, that could certainly be something the council looks at a future date with a future revenue source or grant. But for now, we're working on some design work with V3 on 10th only, and we're trying to apply for grants to help.
Okay. And thank you.
Sure. Sorry.
Further comments, questions from the council? Are we okay with consent?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Next, new business?
Yeah, I have something under new business. There hasn't been a raise for city council since 2001. So 20 years, that's a long time. Prior to 2001, it was every 5 years. So what I'm going to propose is a raise for future members of city council. Because of the timing of the proximity of the election, any raises is, my understanding is any raises that we would go ahead and approve would not take effect until at least 2023 for whomever is elected at that time. So anybody who is currently sitting on the council and anybody who currently got elected last night, okay, it would not affect them at all. It would just be for those that will be elected in 2023, and the mayor, whomever is elected in 2025. I'm recommending, based upon what was done 20 years ago, was a 50% raise, which go from $6,000 to $9,000 for council, and I'm also recommending it goes from $18,000 to $36,000 for the mayor. Whomever is mayor in 4 years from now, they would benefit from that. It's been long overdue. You know, I know individually, most of us have talked about it for years. And I just think it's a good idea that we finally do it. So I would kind of hope that next meeting, if Lisa could go ahead and some financial stuff for us, and if Sonny could have some legal stuff for us.
I already did the calculations.
Okay.
It's-
Well, then, never mind, we can do it now.
It's 36,000 a year. That's the increase, the total increase for council, for the mayor
It's a little more than that, but
was
he asked for
36,000.
9, not 8, but.
Oh, got it.
We'll have it,
We'll have those
2 weeks.
for you, yeah. And I don't know if you also want, the treasurers are also 2 other paid elected positions, clerk and treasurer. If you want to do something with those, we can bring those
Yeah.
up.
They're elected as
Yeah,
well. I
in
think that
some
would be fair.
communities, what they do is they built in like a COLA or some escalating, so you're not worrying
agree
about
with
5
that.
years
Don't
to
have
do
to have
that.
that hard decision.
And that could be done by ordinance, and again, it only impacts the elected officials starting from 2023, and then the mayor, the new mayor, or the re-elected mayor, whoever runs in 2025. So it does not impact the current, elected officials at this cycle or the current sitting ones at this cycle, because you need 180 days before it becomes in effect for future
Right,
terms.
6 months prior to.
Having
it
all
happening.
elected officials, I think, at the same time would be fair, but also I think.
You can't do it all. You
No,
can't.
I meant
Yeah.
proposing in
Future, yeah,
future, the
yes.
increase agreements for future, but I mean, we shouldn't
Yeah, we-
leave one person out versus another, because
You
we
could
don't.
create something we call a Me Too clause,
Yeah.
and so whatever the union contracts get every year is what the management group follows, which is also the elected officials could follow. So
Yeah,
that
you know,
certainly could be written in.
and the suggestion, clerk, the clerk hasn't had a raise in 20 years. The planning commission went from $50 to $100. I think the treasurer makes $600 a year.
$1,200 a year.
$1,200 a year, okay. So, $100 a month. It's time. I just think that, since it's not going to affect any of us, that I just think it's the right time. Then it takes the onus off of somebody in the future. So now it's, then it doesn't become political. It's just the right thing to do. And if we could get it done for $40,000, $50,000 a year, beginning in 2 years, I just think that, well, it wouldn't be 50, it'd be.
This is doing some quick math. It'd be about $42,000 a year. It's not a big financial impact for the city. I mean, it's on a $40 million budget, but yeah. So we can share some research and data and provide emails to you all prior, and then we can present something on the 21st of April for committee of the whole.
Is there a way that we can raise the mayor's salary now?
No, you cannot. For the current sitting mayor, there's state statute restricting it, because obviously, you don't want people who are sitting in that position to vote for their own raises. So there's prohibition on it. You can't increase it or decrease it during the term of your office. You can for a future holder of that office.
Yeah, it's that whole 180 days thing. So if either the other two would have
If
won
we
last
passed
night,
this
they
like
would-
6 months ago, that
6
that
months
would have been
ago,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Had you done it in October or something like that, but.
I like the idea of giving a raise to the alderman. I would just like to request, and I think most of the people already do it, but that we have committees assigned to the alderman then, so each person is assigned to a specific task then, and that kind of justifies the $3,000 extra amount per year. And I know, you guys have all kind of done some of the announcements today, what you're responsible for, but I think that would be kind of a way to also justify that increase, because then you've got more responsibilities for specific tasks in the city.
And I think along with that, I know I've already had communication about this, but, reaffirm within our code that you do not participate in the city health insurance program as an elected official. You do not participate in IMRF as an elected official. So maybe in case it needs to be reaffirmed, that should be reaffirmed in the whole proposal.
The health insurance is in the code. What I sent you earlier was from the code. So
Okay.
the health insurance already says that if you want to jump onto the city's health insurance, it's 100% covered by you.
Okay, perfect.
By resolution, the city council could reaffirm that they elect not to participate in IMRF. Yeah.
And I trust Darren's numbers, but could you give us some of the other local municipalities on what people are being paid? I'd appreciate that as well.
Well, I don't know what other people are
We're
being
gonna,
paid.
we're gonna find out.
It's just that I know that the Mayor Orland Park makes a crazy amount of money, and Romeoville makes a crazy amount of money.
All right, any further comments? Okay, no open floor comments. All right, motion to adjourn committee of the whole.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Moved second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned. Do we need a break or just want to go right into city council?
We gotta wait for.
Give me a
Need a
second,
2-minute
please.
break.
All right. Order, don't I?
Got it.
Wait, I have to do.
Okay, Saban. Schreiber.
Here.
Here.
Bergbauer. Galogly.
Here.
Deskin.
Here.
Lobes.
Here.
Bertelson.
Here?
Coretta.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we have consent agenda, CL1, Committee of the Whole meeting minutes from March 17th, CL2, regular city council meetings from March 17th, FD1, payroll period ending March 21, CA1, professional services agreement with HR Green, CED1, facade and site grant program requests for 616 South State, PW1, purchase of a new 2022 Ford F-750 crane truck, PW2, 2020, a lot of twos in here, 2021 sanitary sewer television engineering services, PW3, 2021 stormwater program design and construction engineering services. Motion to move consent,
Hold.
correct?
Motion to hold consent, please.
Motion to hold consent. So moved for, motion by Alderman Saban, seconded by Alderman. Sorry.
Galogly.
Alderwoman Galogly
I apologize.
needs a wig.
It's a lot of twos and tongue twisters today, yeah, I'm sorry, sir.
So I'll make a motion to go ahead and accept the consent agenda.
All right, seconded, motion to, whatever Darren said, motion by Darren, seconded by Saban. I'm lost on right now, I'm sorry, I'm all these twos and ones and PWs and.
Yes.
We'll
Roll
do
call
roll
vote.
call.
Roll call, yeah.
Okay, Saban.
Yes.
Schreiber.
Yes.
Bergbauer.
Yes.
Galogly.
Yes.
Deskin.
Yes.
Lobes.
Yes,
Bertelson.
Yes.
And Coretta.
Yes.
Motion passes.
awesome. All right, FD1, bills, actually, regular business actions, our first one is FD1, bills through March 30, 2021. Do I,
I'll make a motion to approve.
seconded, all right, Galogly and Schreiber.
Okay, roll call. Saban.
Yes.
Schreiber.
Yes.
Bergbauer.
Yes.
Galogly.
Yes.
Deskin.
Yes.
Lobes.
Yes.
Bertelson.
Yes?
Coretta.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, PW1, 2021 roadway resurfacing project award to Austin Tyler Construction in the amount of $749,674.50. You couldn't round up to 75. Do I have a motion?
Wait, oh, yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Can
All
I
right.
have Brent to tell us?
Locally and Schreiber? Brent, go right ahead.
This evening, we do have one item on the agenda for City Council to consider, PW-1. This is for the resurfacing, annual resurfacing project. If council recalls, several meetings ago, we did come to council with only a portion of the Willow Walk subdivision initially included due to the cost and due to what we had budgeted. Council concurred with staff to go and see if we could get good bids, see if we could get favorable bids, and add some additional streets and get the remainder of the subdivision done this year. Actually received very, very, very good bids, very good bids. The overall engineer's estimate of cost was over $1 million. We ended up, the lowest bidder came in at $749,000, so $270,000 less than what the engineer's estimate was. The engineer's estimate was based on the prices we received last year, so it's not like the engineer's estimate was there and inflated. The engineer's estimate was based on last year's numbers. So again, very good bid. Austin Tyler is doing the work in town, as council knows, from 5th to 9th. So I think they probably had a a little bit of a step up, obviously knowing that they were going to be in town and doing other work, so their mobilization costs, those types of things were a little bit lower than some of the other bidders. So this evening, we would be looking for $749,674.50 to be awarded to Austin Tyler. $700,000 has been allocated in MFT funds to date. So what we would be looking for would be to move that up to the 749 figure and cover the entirety of the project with our MFT money. I guess take questions at this time.
The only question I have, and it's, I'm seeing two different colors of blue on this map. See two different colors of blue?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's the stuff that's not orange, is that all gonna be resurfaced?
It is.
Okay, all right, that's all.
So that shows you kind of the difference, what we added. So this is our 5th to 9th. Can we keep going, Ben?
Okay.
No, not on there? Okay. So what we were able to add, so initially we did the orange last year, and then as you move west, so it's kind of I'll say the darker blue. That is what we were originally planning on doing, and then the lighter blue that would be even farther to the west and to the north, that would be done next year. So we're able to do the entirety of it this year.
Wow.
Fantastic job. And it allows us to, to check that entire subdivision off.
Wow, good job.
Super duper.
Awesome. All right, any other comments, questions from the council? All right, thank you, Brent. Roll call?
You got it. Saban. Yes. Schreiber.
Yes.
Bergbauer.
Yes.
Galogly.
Yes.
Deskin.
Yes.
Lobes.
Yes.
Bartleson.
Yes?
Coretta.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, motion to adjourn city council at 7:41 PM. To have a, Larry, to have a second? Renee, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna bang the gavel. There we go, all right.
Forgot open floor comment.
Oh.
As long as Karen knows that they don't all go this